Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is another Schoolism feedback video. We haven't done one of these in a while, but thank you Satu Pilajama for posting your painting on the Schoolism event page for our class. Just wanted to get right into it. So this is a painting from life that Satu did of this room and then added Totoro to that painting. So let's take a look at this painting. It's looking really good. It's looking great. There's a couple things I really want to focus on. The first one being really adjusting the value difference between light and shadow. And we're going to look at two specific things. Really, we want to group the light and shadow and look at exposure. So for the first thing, let's really simplify this. I went ahead and put a filter on it from Photoshop to take a look at your values in a simpler way. We really want to take a look at the difference between light and shadow and see if we can group them and adjust the exposure to be something a little more like this, so that all of our shadows, which is almost everything in the painting, is grouped, and the light is also simply separated in terms of value from the shadow. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm adjusting all of those values to really just group exposed for the shadow. So basically the light is overexposed, that's why it's white, and then the shadow is being painted in now and adjusted for. And you can see there's a little bit of adjustment everywhere. Some of the values we're feeling a little, what I would say, spotty. And what I mean by that is that it just felt like there were patches of values that were sitting together, but overall I'm trying to group all of your light and all of your shadow. And so that's really what I'm focusing on here. Some of the materials I also wanted to take a closer look at, like putting little reflections here and there based on the glancing angles that we're looking at things. It feels like you would probably get some reflections. And then also just adjusting, again, values of objects from object to object here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to take a look at is actually adding an object to the existing painting, and this object would be Totoro. So you want to start really, really simple as possible, and then start to add local color, and then add detail. This will keep you from getting too distracted with different values within an object, so that it might, the danger is always that it doesn't feel quite lit or sitting in the lighting that you have. And so you can see I started really simply, just using almost one color in the silhouette and then adding form, and then now I'm adding this local color of his belly in there, and then finally adding details. And the details can sometimes take time just because you have to want to be careful drawing them, and always there's minor adjustments to the overall form, but really if you work in that way, that will hopefully keep you from maybe getting your object to feel a little displaced from your lighting. You always want it to feel connected. And here I'm adding just a simple rim light from the light from behind Totoro. Now I'm just doing some overall adjustments, adding some exposure effects. Your eyes always have trouble adjusting. And then also I felt like that back room, because it was mostly white, wanted to be brightened overall, because also light is bouncing around inside that room before reaching this room that we're sitting in. So I overall brightened that, and then I actually darkened back even more the air conditioning unit. And here you can see I'm still adjusting minor details of Totoro. But that's overall it. There's one major issue I saw with the drawing, and that is, if you look at the original drawing, the doorway is almost doing this visual effect that is, it's a bit broken, and so you'll see I'm going to adjust that doorway so that it's not sitting in two different places. The two sides of the door are sitting in two different places in space. And that'll be the final thing that I do before finishing this painting. And here it is. Okay, and that's it. So thanks Satu. I hope that this helps a little bit. It's really just very, very simple things. Overall, you're doing a really great job. But hopefully this helps. All right, until next time, thanks guys. We'll see you later.